What is the biggest mistake you have ever made?
Well, the biggest business mistake is I did not believe in the U.S. Shale gas revolution.
Right.
I really didn't think it was going to last, and I didn't invest in it. I didn't take the time to really understand it, because it just seemed that the method that was being used was so crude that it couldn't last. And it's still crude, and it's still lasting.
So why is it a mistake?
Because we let Halliburton take a huge amount of market share in the U.S.
Yeah.
We didn't fight for a long time.
Right.
And, you know, it was too late for me to rectify it, but I mean, as Paul Kipsgard, my successor, I made it one of his objectives very early on to try and rectify the situation.
Okay.
You know. The other mistakes that I always regret, which I could have prevented, were promoting certain people too fast, which was just, I was just over enthusiastic about people's capability and didn't realize that they were quite ready. But the trouble is, it's extremely difficult to recover from a big failure in a company that's as ambitious and as competitive as Schlumberger is. So I felt quite sad for a couple of people who I did that to. And the one I could not avoid, and this is something that I sincerely wish never happens to any of you, and the only other person I know it's happened to is Helge Lund, is I lost 2 engineers to terrorists in Algeria. In 1997, they were beheaded on the rig.
Right.
And that's, you know, that you live with that for a very long time, because that's not what commercial enterprises are supposed to be doing. You know, and Helge lost 11 people from Statoil in the terrorist attack in In Amenas in Algeria, and he feels exactly the same. It's something you never quite get over. You know.
Right.
It's not as if you're in the army or something. No. Right? It's just, you know.
You carry that with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't forget. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Also, what would you say are some of the toughest management and leadership decisions you've ever taken?
So every time you go into a downturn, there is a question of right-sizing the organization. And when you right-size the organization, you have to say you have to strike a balance between how long is this recession going to last, how much cost do I take out, and how much cost do I carry in order to be able to react when the business comes back. And in the 1997-1998 collapse, John Brown, he's not here, is he, John? No, John's not here. He stood up in February and said the price of oil is going to be below 10 for the foreseeable future. And in a month later, Shell stood up and said the price of oil is going to be below 15 for the foreseeable future. And on the basis of that, I organized the firing of 22,000 people.
Wow.
And in September, the oil price was 25. So we were hiring people and firing people at the same time. So, you know, that's something that you don't, you know.
You know, the oil and gas industry, we've seen these boom and bust cycles over and over again. Does the industry not learn? Because, you know, the booms are super booms and the busts are super busts.
Well, that's an issue with the commodity price. You can't, what can you learn? You can't keep everybody sitting there doing nothing. Right. When the oil price is really low. And the question, which comes back to what you just asked me, is how long, you have to make a judgment of how long this is going to be. How long is this going to last? And it's extremely difficult.